Hey folks, let's talk about the last couple of days with the Trump team, because these three moves have been playing out like a perfectly timed comedy sketch, except it's real life, and the jokes write themselves. We're going to walk through each one straight up, no spin, just the facts first. Then the gentle ribbing, because the absurdity is already doing most of the heavy lifting. First up, the Iran Strait of Hormuz drama that had the whole world holding its breath. The president drew a hard line. Iran had until Tuesday night to fully reopen the strait or face total devastation. Every bridge gone, every power plant wiped out, and he straight up said a whole civilization could die tonight, never to be brought back again. Ships were rerouted, military assets were positioned, the clock was ticking. Then, literally less than 2 hours before that deadline, boom, he announces a 2-week ceasefire. Iran agreed to let commercial traffic through. The U.S. called it mission, accomplished with military targets, exceeded, and everyone was supposed to cheer. Except right after, the fine print hits. American forces and ships are sticking around to help with traffic and make sure everything stays smooth until a real long-term deal is signed. And in the days since, he's already warning that any slip-up means the heavy stuff comes right back. It's like that friend who breaks up with you dramatically, then texts, "But don't go anywhere yet. I might change my mind." The satire writes itself. Power loves a good cliffhanger, turning apocalypse into a 2-week intermission while keeping the leverage parked right offshore. It shows how crises can be dialed up and down like a thermostat, and somehow the audience is left clapping for the plot twist instead of asking why the thermostat was cranked to 11 in the first place. Next, the one that still has people doing double takes, the urgent national action to save college sports executive order. Signed back on April 3rd but still dominating the conversation this week, it basically tells the NCAA it has until August 2026 to fix its house or risk losing federal dollars. The big fixes? Limit athlete transfers to one time, with an extra shot after graduation. Cap total eligibility at 5 years, crack down hard on any NIL deals that smell like collective pay-for-play, and make sure schools aren't using federal money to bankroll any of it. The stated goal is restoring order, fairness, and stability to college athletics before the whole thing collapses under lawsuits and chaos. In the middle of global supply chains, budget fights, and actual hot wars, the federal government decided that college kids jumping schools and endorsement money needed emergency room treatment. The humor lands because it's so perfectly American. We'll turn the transfer portal into a national security issue faster than you can say NIL collective. It's a reminder that power has this charming habit of elevating the everyday stuff, ball fields, locker rooms, portal drama, into existential threats, proving that sometimes the most profound thing about politics is how it picks its battles in the weirdest corners of American life. And then there's the loyalty blanket that dropped this week. Reports surfaced that the president has been telling senior staff, in meetings and casually, that before his term ends in 2029, he's going to issue blanket preemptive pardons for pretty much the entire White House team. Anyone working inside the Oval Office or even within about 200 feet of it. Not for any specific crime, mind you. Just a proactive, you're-covered shield against whatever federal headaches might come later. It's framed as protecting the family, making sure good people don't get dragged through the ringer for doing their jobs. The punchline is almost too on the nose. In a town where everyone preaches rules and accountability, the team quietly builds the biggest insurance policy imaginable for its own circle. It's not scandalous in a shouting way, it's quietly profound, laying bare how loyalty quietly trumps perfect paperwork every single time. The system doesn't break the rules. It just upgrades the umbrella. Look, these three snapshots aren't about left or right or red or blue. They're about how power performs when the spotlight's on. 1 minute it's threatening Armageddon, the next it's pausing for a victory lap while keeping the troops in place. 1 minute it's laser-focused on freshman eligibility rules while the planet spins, The next, it's handing out future get-out-of-jail-free cards like party favors. Taken together, it's less about any single decision and more about the theater of it all. The high drama, the sudden plot pivots, the everyday stuff turned epic, the team-first safety net. You laugh because it's ridiculous. Then you pause because it's actually kind of revealing. Politics has always been showbiz with higher stakes, and right now, the Trump team is just running the current season with extra flair. Catch you next time. Keep your popcorn ready, the show's far from over.